Good morning. Good afternoon. Hello there, Liz. Hey. We'll give it a. Deborah, are you on here?
Yes, I am. I'm here. I'm the Chirag Shah Coaching logo.
Perfect. I see you there. So we'll give it a few minutes, and I guess I'll let you introduce, and then we'll go from there. Hi, Sophie.
Yeah, so while we wait for everybody to get on the call, we are very excited to have our first of total 6 expert mentor sessions led by Andrew Jevin, the snapping realtor. And this is going to be specifically in the area of social media. So there's going to be a lot of great content covered over the next 6 months, of course, starting with today's first session. And then we're going to keep building every month. Andrew's going to join us, and you guys have those calendar invites. So please always come back to get the next session. If for some reason you can't get a session or you want to watch one back that you did attend, we have everything hosted on our community platform, in the library, the Future Proof Playbook. So if you loved today's session, want to watch it again, go back. If you miss a session, don't worry, we got you covered. So as people keep logging in, we'll just give them a few more minutes. Maybe Andrew, just as a starter, you can just introduce yourself to those who don't know you and know what you do, and then you can get into today's content.
Yeah, I see a lot of familiar faces, which is fun to see, like Tanya and Liz and Sophie. Good morning, good afternoon to many of you. I'm in Los Angeles, so it is morning for me. My name is Andrew Jevin. I am a Compass agent out of the Santa Monica. I'm a founding member of the Santa Monica office. So I just celebrated 4 years with Compass 2 weeks ago, which I love Compass. Been drinking the juice. I love the community that Compass has brought me and has brought into my life. I started doing social media when I got my license, so like 7-8 years ago. I can tell you guys, I was with Keller Williams, and they told us that we needed to take out our phone in the Ignite program and call everybody in our sphere and tell them we just got into real estate. And I sat there and I was like petrified. I was like so scared. I was like, none of my friends are going to answer. This is the weirdest thing I've ever heard. Like, this is why I don't want to be a real estate agent. Like, this is slimy. It's like car dealership type stuff. So I started calling people. Of course, nobody answered because it was like 9 a.m. on a Tuesday. But what happened was the people that started texting me and saying, "Hey, Andrew, is everything okay?" So I actually went outside and I would go on Snapchat and I would start sending snaps to everybody and saying, "Hey, they're making me do this, but I just wanted to let you know I just got my real estate license." And I got snaps back of congratulations, of people saying, "Hey, like, now's not the time, but when the time comes for us to buy, we're going to use you." That is how the snapping realtor came from. It's not snapping fingers, snapping turtles. I get it. It's actually from Snapchat, and it kind of segued into like snapping pictures and just snapshots of life. Um, I have used social media to grow my business. I'm a single agent by myself. I do about 20 million a year. Most of my business comes from social media. I would say about 90% of it comes from social media. Right now, I'm on track. I was just talking with my sales manager. 65% of my business has come from agent to agent referral, which is huge. And I want to use one of these sessions over the next couple of months to really hone in on that, because I think with the market shifting and everything, we need to rely on the community that we have. But I started using Instagram specifically, is I think out of all of them, it's the best one. We'll talk about one day, we're going to take a session and we'll talk about TikTok, because everybody's going to ask me about TikTok. And we'll talk about that. But I really want to focus on Instagram, because I think that's the nice mix of where your sphere is, but also it's the best way for people not to know who you are to get to know you, and agents. And I feel like it's like the best marriage of all, even though Instagram is, constantly changing and it's annoying. And, now we're all into reels, which we'll talk about. But I think that it still is the best one for agents. So as we start here, I think we can start now, right, Deborah? I'm good to go.
Yeah, we can get rolling. Yeah, perfect.
Let's do it. Put in your handle in the chat. I'm going to ask you to do that every month. follow each other, connect with each other on Instagram. I'm at the Snapping Realtor, so I'll go first here. Connect with me. You know, don't just follow me, shoot me a DM, introduce yourself, tell me where you're from. I want to know where you're from because people come to me and say, hey, Andrew, I need an agent in Tahoe. Hey, Andrew, I need an agent. I'm from outside of Philly. I need an agent in Phoenixville. It's just good for people to know where you're from when you're following them and just say, hey, I'm in the Chirag coaching program. Nice to meet you, Liz. You know, like stuff like that. That just helps me put a face to a name. And you should also be doing that just like within the whole community of Chirag coaching here, you know, like introduce yourself. Don't just follow. Let me know who you are. I always like to like respond back with a video. Like a lot of my students and my stuff, they know like I like to just connect with people through video. I think it's so important. So with that being said, I will also want you to put in the chat as you Nathaniel, as you guys are putting in here in the chat. Are you like what are you struggling with the most on social media? Because I want to see what you guys are saying so that over the next few months I can really hopefully help you with that. And I would say the biggest thing that I've noticed with agents is that you are, as a whole, afraid to get on camera, to show your face on camera. And that is probably the biggest thing that I think we need to work on is getting over that hump, which is going to be a struggle, but I need to see your faces. So with that being said, let's start a presentation. If you have questions, shoot them. I think Deborah's gonna look over them for me. I will take time at the end to answer questions, okay? Because I don't know if once I start this, if I'm gonna be able to see. Share screen, and I have it ready to. Deborah, can you guys see this screen where it says Instagram 101?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. And then I'm just going to make it bigger here. Yeah, slideshow. Boom. Good to go?
Yeah, we are good to go.
Awesome. Okay, so that being said, we'll get past this. Why Instagram? So this just came out last week, and I'm very fascinated with this study. Nearly 40% of Generation Z users use TikTok and Instagram instead of Google to find businesses. And you're probably saying, well, my clients aren't Generation Z. That's like what, I think like 18 to 25 or something. Guess what? Those people affect decisions that their parents make. I want to share a story. There's an agent that's with Sally Forrester Jones here in LA. He's a good friend of mine. He uses TikTok a lot. Instagram, not as much anymore because he wanted to double down on TikTok. He had someone reach out to him through TikTok, and then they followed him on Instagram. And it was a kid in Chicago. He wanted to introduce Dylan, the agent, to his parents in Chicago. They wanted to buy a house out here in LA. They came out, he picked them up at the airport. They did a day of showings. They decided they didn't want LA. They wanted Santa Barbara. So he's like, well, I'll drive my ass up to Santa Barbara. It's like an hour and a half, 2 hours away from here. He ended up getting them a $23 million house. And that was all done because of the son finding him on TikTok. And then not only that, they wanted the house next door for like 10 or 11 million. So that was over $30 million of real estate that came from TikTok and Instagram. So this stuff is like, this study is true. The average user here in the US spends 53 minutes a day on Instagram. I know a lot of you guys spend a lot of time on Instagram. I do. It's my main lead generator. So I make sure I carve out a certain part of my day to respond to DMs, to connect with people on Instagram. Whether that's clients that maybe just had a baby, I look at, send them maybe like a gift basket, or maybe like during COVID, well, we're still in COVID half the time. I would send juices to people. Like if they just got COVID, I'd send them like a week-long pressed juice kit if they were one of my active clients. Just stuff like that as I'm connecting with them on Instagram. But most of all, it's free. Agents like to throw away money at everything. Instagram is free, and it's literally can be, if you do it right, it could be your biggest form of business. So what type of business? So your sphere is going to be number one using Instagram. People always say, Andrew, what's your ROI on Instagram? Well, it's hard for me to tell because so much of my sphere follows me on Instagram, and that's the way I'm connecting with them. I went to a friend's engagement party a couple of weeks ago. Literally, there was like 120 people in there. I got there a little late because I had an open house. Sure enough, everybody's coming up to me to talk about real estate. Oh, Andrew, what's going on with the market? What do you think is going to happen over the next year? Like literally nonstop. Like my boyfriend knows. Like on our way there, I'm like, I know everybody's gonna ask me about the real estate market. Like I just have to take a deep breath and walk in. But everybody is talking to me, and that's a good problem to have, right? It's because I'm active on Instagram and on social media, and they're seeing it all the time. Relocation, I think that's a really big one, specifically for the big cities. Like I know a lot of you are in New York. People are leaving New York. People are coming into New York. Austin, people are coming into Austin. San Francisco, maybe people are leaving San Francisco, but I'm sure there's people coming in. Same thing with LA, that people since COVID are going all over the place and they need agents. Even if we're going through some sort of weirdness, wonkiness with the market here, people still are moving and they have to buy or sell, right? So hone in on that relocation. Referrals through your sphere. All the time, I am asking and getting referrals through my sphere. And then my number one and my favorite is that agent to agent referral. We are all Compass agents. So like use this ecosystem. Like Compass is only going to be, and the tools in the community are only going to be as good as you use it. I was with one of my best friends, Taya DiCarlo. I took her to go see Moulin Rouge last week, and we went to sushi beforehand. And we were talking, we always talk about social media because we're obsessed with it. And we were saying how like you can, this community of Compass, we were talking about going to Atlanta. And we were saying like it's only as good as what you want to get out of it. So use that agent to agent referral. I'm telling you, it is going to be really important over the next few months. What type of account? So some of you already started following me, I'm assuming over the last couple of days as we were getting ready for this. And one thing I noticed was a lot of you are have personal accounts, and so many of you are set to private. And that's a big no. If you are a real estate agent and you are wanting business, you can't be private. I have to be able to know who you are, and we're going to get to the best practices for a profile bio here in a moment. But unless you're a private agent, you should not have it set to private. You also should really not be a personal account. You should set it as a professional account. Business, perhaps. My problem with business accounts is that you're not going to get the music rights when you go to do reels. And that ends up being a hiccup for many of you. So I say, convert your account, which you can do very easily. Just go under your settings, I believe, go under account, and then go all the way to the bottom where it's blue, and you can convert your account. It'll take a few days to get that music for creators, but creators, if you're still under the professional account, you still get a lot of those benefits, but now you have the music for reels, and that's what you need if you want to grow your account right now. That's just the truth. So I would say a professional account, either business, but I would fully encourage you to switch to a creator account. If you have problems with that, shoot me a DM. I'll text Deborah, remind me, and I'll email you. I have like a PDF of how to convert. I'll send over. So that's that. Let's talk about optimizing your bio now, because this is another thing. I'm going through a lot of your accounts and I don't know where you are. If you're a real estate agent, I need to know where you are if I'm going to refer you business, or if you're going to get business referred to, you need to have your location. I think the use of emojis is really good here. It takes up a lot less space. I think you only have like 150 characters, so use them wisely. But number one, make sure I know what you do, where you do it, and how to get a hold of you. So location is a must. I want to pull up my handle here because some of you guys have it, but I want to make sure we all do it. Can you see this, Tanya? You're like number one on my screen. Shake your head, Tanya. Good. So I have my name, and then I have like a line here, and then I have realtor, and then a line, and then I have LA and like a palm tree. This is searchable. That's a searchable line. So when people are going onto Instagram and they type in like maybe Los Angeles Realtor, I'm going to be one that pops up because I have that. Same thing with any of you that have that. I encourage you guys to just have your name on there and then put maybe real estate agent, realtor, whatever you want, and then location. Also, what makes you you, like your mission, your brand statement. It could be the compass one, helping people find their place in the world. If you're in California, and I don't know any other states, I just know we have to have it. Make sure you have your license number in there, your DRE number. We have to, so just make sure you're going by the rules. This one's big, and a lot of you don't have it. Your call to action button. I should be able, within one click, if I'm not going to DM you, I should be able to either email or call or both. This one here, I closed a deal in West Hollywood a few months ago. So I was driving down the 405 and I get a phone call. I answer it. And this young lady, she's calling and she's saying, "Hey, I need an agent. Are you a real estate agent?" I said, "Yeah. What can I do for you?" And she said, I was talking to my dad over the weekend and I want to buy a place in West Hollywood. And he told me I should go onto Zillow to find an agent or go onto Google. And she's like, "No," she's like, "I'm not going to do that." She's like, "I'm just going to go on Instagram." I wasn't the first person that she called. The first person that she found on Instagram didn't have a phone number attached to the profile, so she couldn't get it. It was too much work probably to find a phone number. So that person didn't get a call. The second person did not have the right phone number on their account. It was out of service because the agent probably switched their phone number at some point. I was the third person and I answered. So I ended up getting the business. So making sure you have those call to action buttons updated is important. I know if you're a woman or even a man, having a phone number, you have to decide on the comfortable level if you want to do that. I definitely recommend having an email though. A link in bio. Using Linktree is a great way to have multiple links. I've seen some Compass agents do this really well with having collections, different public collections of like maybe homes under 500,000, like first time home buyer homes. And it's like always update. You have like a drip going on to that. I think having maybe like some sort of link about Compass Concierge and what that can do for you. Having multiple links is a great way for people just to get to understand your business, your brand, your company. And then lastly, make sure you are all Compass agents. Make sure you say that you are a Compass agent in your bio. I am more apt to send a referral to a Compass agent than a non-Compass agent. Just I know that Compass doesn't just take everybody, so I can pretty much vouch for most Compass agents. So make sure you have Compass in your bio. Let's talk about the username. If you have a username that's like your name and a bunch of numbers, that we got to update. This is not an AOL screen name anymore. It should be easy to say. It should be easy to spell. It could be location specific. I want people to be able to contact, to like know who you are. Like I know Tanya I've never actually, Tanya, I don't even, shake your head. Have we met? Maybe in Miami or Austin we met. So, but I feel like I know so much about her because her name's always just popping up on my Instagram. And that's a lot of Compass agents. It's like that for me. So I hope you guys can update your username and make it be something that is catchy, that's easy to say. It could just be your name. Like, let's, for instance, just say Tanya Jones Realtor. That's great. It could be like the Tanya Jones if all else fails, the Ellen Hargers. I think that having something like that, it just elevates your brand and people like then just like that is you. So update the username if you need to. If you shoot me a DM, like, what do you think of my username? I'll tell you. I'll say, you know what, that's a great username. Or maybe we can brainstorm some ideas together of how we can elevate that. The ins and outs here. So we're going to talk about this over the next few months. A static picture post. Comment right now. Have you noticed that when you post just a picture on Instagram, it gets nowhere? Or maybe it goes a lot of places for you. Let me know. What do static posts do for you right now? Have you seen your engagement has dropped or has it increased? Carousel posts. That's where you could do multiple posts, multiple photos in one post. I love that one. I think it's great. I think it's a great way to provide value. Reels. How many of you guys have done reels? And what are your thoughts on reels? Do you like them? Do you find them to be cringy? Are you scared of them? Are you entertained by them? We're gonna spend a session on reels. I believe it's the next session. So in August, we're gonna talk about reels because I was very much against them. I was like, these are too silly. I'm not doing that. That's so stupid. Last summer, I was doing it. And then finally, in the beginning of this year, I was like, you know what? I have to get on. I got to get on board with these if I'm going to use Instagram. Like, I have to. I've never had so much fun. And it also has reignited my love for real estate and my career. I think after the past 2 years, I was just like exhausted. I was tired. I was done. But since doing these reels, it has not only like tapped my creative side, I've had fun, but it's also my engagement has gone through the roof. And I think that, oh, that's great, Barbara. She just said she took the Reels webinar I did with Kate and she did her first reel. She got over 7,000 views and 70 new people following her from that one reel. So that's going to be your number one way to grow. And we're going to talk all about that. But stories is still my favorite. Stories is where you can really, I think, connect with people. And we're going to talk about how us as agents, we can really elevate our stories to build trust, to build relationships, and then build our business, which is then going to get me to who is your ideal client. So I think before I get into questions here, this is stuff that I want you to start thinking about. So as we work together in our sessions, we can best utilize them. You need to know, what you want. Like, think about it as a dating profile for online dating. Thankfully, I've never had to use it because I think I would be a mess on these apps. But I want you to think about, like this would normally be who is your ideal date, who you want to date. But we're talking about who is your ideal client. You need to know what kind of client you want. You can't help everybody, right? So I know for me, I specialize a lot in first-time home buyers because I need to hold their hand more. I need to explain things to them. I need to talk them off ledges all the time. I need to kind of explain the whole just value of real estate. That's probably what my ideal client is. I mean, I would love a luxury client too, but taking time to listen. What are your clients saying? What are your followers saying? This is great. And we'll get into the stories of asking your followers, what kind of content do they want to see? Do they want to, you'll be surprised. They probably don't want to see much real estate. You also must know and show what makes you unique, not how many houses you sell, how like how you broke a record. Tell me how you broke the record. Was it through using Compass Concierge? Was it through, getting a property, spending like the couple weeks leading up to the launch of a property, getting it show ready? Show your followers, show me how you do that. That's what's going to make you unique. We're all agents. We all do the same thing at the end of the day, but we're all unique in how we do it. So tell a story. This one, you need multiple high quality photos here. We are all Compass agents. We have access to Compass lifestyle photo shoots. I'm a big fan of them. People that know me know that I love a good lifestyle photo shoot. You use them through your social media, through your all your marketing stuff. So emails, email campaigns, print stuff. But your profile picture should be a really high quality picture of you. And then you should be able to post this stuff on your social channels. And then when we're creating content, you need attention grabbing headlines, stuff that's going to make people stop scrolling, because we are, sad to say, in a 3-second world now. And then lastly, I think with everything that's changing, and even like I was telling agents over the past few months, we were talking about it in our groups, of being positive and honest. Not like a couple months ago, it was not making fun of buyers that, because the market was so crazy and like getting lost out, like let's not make fun of them, right? Because now who's laughing? Overnight that changed. So I think just like being positive and just like right now we have the platform and the influence to set the tone for how this market is and to be positive about it. Like all the time, people are buyers that are on the sidelines. They're like freaking out. Sellers are freaking out. We got to get our place in the market right now. We got to do it right now. I'm like, calm down. Your place is not ready to go in the market right now. So it's just being positive and honest, and we could do that through social media. So that's that. I am going to now, because we got 5 minutes. I'll stay on here for a little bit extra today. I want to open it up to some questions. Deborah, did you see anything that like really popped up that I can answer? And if not, let's just answer some questions here.
No, I think a lot of people have, just indicated that they're scared to get started, or they might even be having some technical issues with their Instagram. But I think if anyone wants to start dropping some questions now that, Andrew has made his presentation. One person just said, can you give us an example of your best reel?
Yeah.
Well, we can certainly do that. And just for 1 second, I'm just going to turn this over to Chrissy, who is here, part of the Chirag Shah Coaching team, because I got to actually jump and help with accountability coaching now. So stay on, everybody, but I will turn it over to Chrissy to help you, Andrew.
Thank you, Deborah. So actually, I saw Jared said a couple minutes ago, so many people have private accounts on here. That's what I noticed last night. And if you are a real estate agent and you want to use Instagram to grow your business, it cannot be private. So no more private. Let's talk about hashtags. There's not much to talk about anymore. They're non-existent. I think you can still use them. I don't think they are what they used to be, so I wouldn't spend too much time on hashtags. I would always probably use the hashtag Agents of Compass, just because it's just good for the ecosystem here to connect with other agents. But maybe a couple hashtags in a post, in a reel. Agents of Compass, hashtag realtor, hashtag location specific, so wherever you are. So for me, maybe Los Angeles realtor, Santa Barbara realtor, stuff like that, I think would be what ways to attract your ideal client. Somebody asked an example of a good reel. So I can tell you one reel that got me a lot of business was me doing a reel. It was a trending audio of the months of the year. So it was like January, February, March, and I got the data and I did what the average price was for a home in 2021 and how from January to December it went up. That reel, I ended up, I think I just, today I'm closing my 8th deal from that reel, and it opened up so many conversations organically because of a reel that really connected with my followers and showing how the average price went. I mean, it probably was like 150,000 in a year. And then I would say that one, any travel reel I like doing, because that's what connects with people the most, is when I travel or when I'm eating Italian food or when I'm drinking wine. I would tell you guys, encourage you all, I call it your calling card. It's the 3 things that make you you besides real estate. So maybe you're a girl dad, maybe you're a boy mom, maybe you're really into your kids and their sports. That could be one. Maybe you are really into your dog. That could be one. Maybe you are like a big Giants fan and you love going to the Giants games. That could be one. Stuff that makes you you, because that's really where you're building the relationships with. It's not through real estate. It's not through real estate at all. Remember, in social media, it says social. So it's time to get social on social media. It can't always just be like talking about selling or buying all the time. So I would say that, and then another, and you can go under my reels on my account, and that will help if you want to check some of them out. Another one was last summer, I used Compass Concierge, and I did a snapping transition reel where I was like, snap, new floors, snap, painted white, snapped, staged, and then I was able to snap again and say like 100,000 over asking. Using Compass Concierge, ask me how we could do that. That then opened up a lot of people that were following me in my sphere that were talking about wanting to sell their place. hey, Andrew, what's this Compass Concierge? I want to do that. I want to use Compass Concierge. I've probably in the last year, I've done almost every listing has used Compass Concierge in some aspect because they remember seeing that reel. I can pin it back to that reel. So that's another good one. Sharon just asked, do you manage your own account or do you use an assistant? All me. Taya's is all Taya. I do not believe in anybody running your social media. I mean, maybe you're so busy, but I find it hard that somebody's, specifically when it comes to Instagram stories, is going to be able to say who, like, with your voice and who you are. And it's really not that hard to post. It's really not that hard. So don't waste money. Somebody else asked, do I lose followers when I switch to a creator? I don't think so at all. I think you're only going to gain followers, to be honest, because creators account allow you to add more. Also, when Instagram rolls out new stuff, they give it to creators first. They roll it out slowly to creators, then it gets to other people, and usually goes to businesses last. So I wouldn't have a business now. Do you follow everyone back? I do not follow everyone back. I do not encourage you guys to follow everyone back. If somebody follows you, I try to go on their account. If they're a real estate agent that posts just graphics with numbers or just graphics of houses and I have no idea what they look like, I do not follow them. I just don't. I don't care. I want to know who you are. I want to know what makes you you. That's the stuff that's going to make me follow you, or you providing, engaging content. We might not even like the same interests, but if you're passionate about something, that's going to make me passionate. And then what tools do I create reels with? We are going to go over all of the reel stuff next session, because reels probably is the most asked I get about everything. What else did I want to say? I see somebody said, when is the next session? I don't quote me. I just know it's in like 2 or 3 weeks because I'm getting it ready right now. Does anybody else have any questions? You can, when you have your professional account, Renee, that's where you can add in your bio. You can add, just go to edit bio, and you should be able to add the contact button with your phone number and your email. When was the January, February reel? Look for me wearing a Wicked Witch costume. I also, in that reel, to keep people's attention, every month I dressed up to a theme of that month. So just look for the reel with, it was probably back in February, of me wearing a witch costume. Do you lose followers when you get a professional account? No, you do not lose. I mean, you may lose something, but that's just based on the content that you're putting out there. You're not going to lose anything just by switching your account. You're not. If anything, you're only going to gain, in my opinion. How many times a week to post? We used to say, 5 times probably to post. Sometimes it's been posting every day a reel. Post where you're not going to get burnt out. That's what I'm going to tell you. If anything, I took a month off. Liz knows this. I took a month during May and June, 4 weeks off. I didn't post a post or a reel at all. I did not lose any followers. If anything, I only gained. But what I did do was I kept posting stuff on my stories. I kept doing things on my stories that some people had no idea, like some agents had no idea that I wasn't posting reels because they just kept seeing me in stories. They just assumed I was doing stuff. So the burnout is real. I will tell you, make sure, this summer going into the fall, if you need a week off, take a week off of social media. If you need a month off, take a month off. But also, don't take too much time off, because you do need to keep this, whatever's going on. I have agents all the time calling, texting, emailing, DMing me about, their pipeline's dry, they don't know what to do, all this stuff. That this, to me, is the best way right now for you to be growing your business and growing your brand and keeping you're keeping your garden watered as we nurture, right? And this is the time. All the time agents say, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. Well, most of you probably do have the time now. So this is going to be the time to get this stuff, get these habits going, and to start building your social. And for the next couple of months, you have me helping you. And this is honestly probably my biggest passion is doing this. I can say real estate's fine. I don't love it, but it pays the bills and I like the checks. But this I like doing. So please connect with me on Instagram. I'm gonna get all this stuff that we talked about. Get your bio done. You know, shoot me a DM. Say, hey, I updated my bio. What do you think? You have questions about your new username? Shoot me a DM. I'm the Snappy Realtor. I'm going to do this next month, and we are going to really dive in on Reels. It's 10:35. I have two final walkthroughs today, and I got to go to the Beverly Hills Compass office. So, hey, Alex, I will see you guys next month. So in a couple weeks. And in the meantime, if you have questions, do not hesitate to reach out. I believe in all of you. I know we can all do this, and we're going to do this together over the next few months. Okay.
This has been an amazing session, Andrew. Thank you so much.